Hi guys, welcome to the WSL weekly show. I'll be talking to special guest Sophie Howard. Jack is back. Had a week off due to significant issues and that last week. Feeling better now. We've got the WSL weekly show tonight. We'll be talking to Sophie about her career. We'll be talking about Leicester City women, how they're settling in the WSL. We'll be looking ahead to Chelsea away on Sunday. And we'll be also talking about the previous game, which was Tottenham Hotspurs at home. We'll get Sophie's thoughts on that. Guys, if you're watching live, ask Sophie any questions you want. Join in the debate. Smash a like. If you're watching on replay, we are live 7 days a week. The Fan Zone show on a Monday, the WSL weekly show, which is tonight, and the Away Fan Chat show, which is tomorrow. It'll be a normal Fan Zone show as it's the international break. The Premier League prediction show will not be on this week. That'll be with Tom next Thursday. The pre-match show with Reedy on Friday. He'll talk all things Leicester this week. No watch along this Saturday. It'll be moved to Sunday. We'll be doing a watch along on Chelsea versus Leicester City women. Obviously 12:30 kickoff, and we've got the aftermath show on Sunday at 9:30. So let's get going.
Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. Are you ready for the show? Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newby Co estate agents. We want your views, we want your comments, so join us live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Evening, guys. Hope you're all well. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you can find us at Leicester Fan TV. Smash a like, share, subscribe to Leicester Fan TV, and welcome to the WSL weekly show. Let's go our special guest in then, Leicester City defender and Scottish international, Sophie Howard. Sophie, welcome to the show. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Good. Sophie, let's talk about your career then. Obviously born in Germany. You played for the Germany under-20s, I believe.
That is correct, yeah.
Yeah. You started your career at 1899 Hoffenheim from 2009 to 2012. Did that kickstart your career there?
Obviously, I played before that when I was way younger, but that was for local clubs. And moving to Hoffenheim in 2009 was probably the first big move where I kind of made the decision I wanted to give it a try. Give it a try, that football could become my career. So at Hoffenheim, it all started pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Any goals you want to tell us about there? Or?
Any goals? I don't really score that many goals. I scored a couple in total 6 years, because obviously you mentioned earlier that I was at Hoffenheim for 2 different spells. I don't really score that many goals, do I?
I don't know. I'm waiting for that header from a corner.
My job to defend the goal, isn't it? Take more pride in that.
Well, there'll be a couple of set pieces what will come your way at some point. Obviously, you and Ashby on the end of them, yeah. I'm sure, this season. 2013, you played for Colorado Rapids and Colorado Pride.
Yeah, I moved after my first 3 years at Hoffenheim. I moved to America, partially for my degree, but also to play for the University of Central Florida. I stayed there for a total of 3 years, graduated in 2015, but in the summer month, instead of going home, what typically international students did, I stayed in America because I didn't want a long football break. So I moved to Colorado for the 3 summers and played for Colorado Rapids or Pride.
2015 to 2018, you went back for your second spell at
Yep.
Hoffenheim. How did you get on there in your second spell? Was it better than your first, or do you feel you got better the second time round?
They were very different. When I first moved to Hoffenheim, I was only 15 years old, so I was very young when I left home. I lived with the host family the first year, and then actually my older brother moved down to go to uni, so the two of us lived together, and that I was only 16, 17, 18 then. And that was more about developing, getting used to professional football, getting used to women's football. And then after America, after the spell, when I returned to Hoffenheim in 2015, by that time Hoffenheim had been promoted from, when I first started the third tier, we got promoted into the second Bundesliga, which is basically the championship here, and then got promoted into the first Bundesliga, which is a WSL here. And then it was coming back, competing, getting into the team, and then obviously trying to push for a high spot within the table.
Yeah. Renee asked Sophie, do you like men's football? Like Jamie Vardy? Who would you say your men's idol would be?
Men's idol. When I grew up, it was between David Beckham and Steven Gerrard. Even though I grew up in Germany, my family's obviously British, so I had British, English idols. My dad's English, my mum's Scottish. That's where the Scotland connection comes from. But I do like men's football, yeah. I do enjoy football in general, and I don't really divide between men and women's football.
Who do you support, Sophie?
As you can probably tell from my answer, it's Liverpool. Obviously, I'm playing for Leicester. My heart beats for Leicester as well. I think it comes with me being a Leicester player, my loyalty to the club, but from a very young age. And I think because my whole family supports Liverpool, I've always supported Liverpool.
Yeah, you started your Scottish debut in 2017 versus Belgium. How was that?
Yeah, obviously, when you grow up, it's always your goal, your dream to become a professional footballer, but also to represent on the international stage. And for me, it was quite late, obviously, but to get my debut was amazing. And I managed kind of to have family there as well, and one of my best friends. So it was a really great moment, and I just kind of wanted more from that day onwards.
Yeah. Reading then, 2018 to 2020, you joined Reading Women. What was your career like at Reading and the 2 years that you spent there?
For me, the reason to move kind of abroad then, because I lived in Germany then, was because I knew the WSL was growing and I wanted to compete in the next league. So that was the main reason to move abroad. And then I got in touch with Reading through then the Scotland manager. And that's how that came about. For me, it was 2 years of... I had a lot of injuries, and I think that was the first time I kind of was challenged in that way, because previous to that, I hadn't had an injury. So that was a learning curve. And I think I developed a lot in terms of my mental strength in them 2 years. And it exposed me to WSL football. Obviously, I'd mainly spent my career in Germany. So that was a new challenge, a new environment as well. But then obviously played for Reading for 2 years, and then obviously made the move to Leicester.
Sophie, I don't know if you watch quite a lot of the Leicester City men's game. Do you like the look of Barnes, Luckman and Vardy, or would you prefer Albright, Vardy and Mahrez as a front three?
I think it's always hard to give your only them three. I think depending on the partnerships or the three that play together, it's different. I can't really say that or that. I think it depends on the opposition, the form of the players. Obviously, as an outstanding person, you only see game day, but obviously Brendan sees them every day and sees what they put in training, and maybe someone's having a downer and someone's having an amazing week of training, 2 weeks of training. That's who you put on the pitch. So I can't really answer that question. I hope that's all right.
Yeah, that's fine. Obviously, you're a former Royal yourself. The Royals are obviously in the WSL, the women's team. How do you think they're getting on this season? Have you watched many of their games?
Yeah, I have obviously. I used to play with some of the players that are still there. Some who I'm still friends with. And I always watch the games that I can watch when I'm not obviously playing at the moment. I don't think they've found their form yet. I don't think they've found their style of play yet.
Yeah.
They're definitely a force to be reckoned with throughout the whole season in terms of the bigger picture, but they haven't really started their season yet in that sense. I know that they'll be very tactically drilled. They just haven't been able to put that on the pitch yet. But it's, as I said, a long season. We've only had 4 plus obviously cup game. We're only 4 games in, so even though they haven't performed yet, it's too soon to say they're not good enough this year.
Sophie Hannah says, hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great birthday. Obviously, your birthday was not long ago.
That's true.
And the international break with Scotland as well.
Yeah, I did. Thanks, Hannah, for the birthday wishes. I got them on Twitter as well. Yeah, it's always an honour to go with Scotland. I really like the girls there. I really like the environment at camp. For us, obviously, as a team, was very successful. We started our campaign with 2 wins. There's the next one coming up in October.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy camp and I did enjoy my birthday. Even though I probably would have wished to spend it with, I've got a twin sister and we usually try and spend our birthday together, which probably hasn't happened too often in the last years, just because we're quite like separated location ways. But the girls at Scotland at camp made the birthday as special as they could.
You've got a twin, haven't you, Sophie?
I do. Twin sister.
Twin sister, yeah. Obviously, you had your birthday cake as well. Hopefully, you got that wish that Leicester will stay up at the end of the season. In 2020, then, Sophie, you joined Leicester City Women, which was officially Leicester City Women. Obviously, they combined and collaborated with a club as one club. There you are, holding your shirt. And then that season, you won the championship. What a great feeling that was. That must have been for you guys on the pitch and that day and over the season as a whole.
Yeah, it was a great day. I think, especially given the circumstances with COVID, it was a rough year for everyone. And for us to kind of conclude that year where we had loads of ups and downs with winning the title, obviously the first time at King Power, it was a very, very good day. Unfortunately, we couldn't have family in the stands, but that was obviously due to COVID. But we're therefore even more excited now to have them back. But winning the title, lifting the trophy is definitely one of my favourite moments within my career so far.
Sophie, how did the move to Leicester City come about then? Obviously, you left Reading on a free agent. How did that move come about to the King Power Stadium?
I was at a stage where I was looking for a move. I was looking for a club where I could enjoy football again, where I could fall back in love with the game again, where I would feel appreciated and where I would feel part of something big. And I had that feeling with Leicester. I was deciding between a couple of clubs, and for me, this whole one club mentality and you're in it together, you're part of something bigger. That's what basically convinced me. It was the ambition that the club had, the women's side had, that caught my attention, and it just kind of went from there.
Yeah. Obviously, have you met the owner yet, Top?
We have, yeah. After this last season, we were invited to the men's game when they were playing Spurs, and that was after our season was done, and we got invited to watch the game, and Top came and had a little chat, and we got to meet him, which obviously was a great gesture and a great day for us. Yeah,
obviously you guys showed off the trophy quite proudly after the Spurs game. I bet that was a good feeling, wasn't it? Just the start of getting fans back into stadiums again.
Yeah, it definitely was. It was nice to see some fans back at King Power. For us, it was nice to kind of meet the fans because obviously we hadn't had fans for the whole season, and I think it just emphasised this one club mentality that we were allowed to present our trophy and actually were cheered on by the fans that had come for the men's game, but cheered us on when we walked around the pitch. I think that kind of confirmed that we're in it together.
Yeah. How do you think you've settled in, Sophie, at Leicester City Football Club since joining?
Do you mean me personally?
Yeah, you personally. How do you think you've settled in as a person? Do you think you've built more confidence in that in your footballing career?
I think I've settled in well. I enjoy going to work every day. I enjoy football again. I enjoy the daily challenges. Football's never smooth. It's not all rosy, but I can always say that I love going into training and I love game days. I look forward to them every week, and I think that shows me that I am happy that I'm here, and it was the right decision. As I said, football's not always rosy, and it comes with challenges, but that's part of the journey, and that's part of you growing as a person and player.
Yeah, Sophie, you're a centre back, aren't you? Or do you prefer to play fullback? Someone else.
A good question. I personally would see myself as a centre back, but I think I was first introduced to the fullback position at Scotland under Shelley Kerr when she was still the manager, and I think then I was kind of also introduced into the position here at Leicester, and I think I've really grown into the fullback role and now I have a really good understanding of that position. In both positions, you have to be ruthless. You have to defend for your life. Your job is to defend the goals. I enjoy going forward more as a fullback, not gonna lie. Personally, I think based on my attributes, I'd say I'm a centre back, but I embrace both. And wherever the gaffer puts me, I'll do the job.
Yeah. Obviously, it's been great watching you this season as a team, watching you run up and down the wings and that, and getting stuck in, Sophie, with them two-footed challenges and that. You know, I've seen it at Manchester City. You like to get stuck in a bit. You don't take no messing about with these players running at you. You know, you're always there when needed. Hannah asks, what did you do with your medal after winning the league? Apparently, Charlie carried it around with her. Hannah said she slept with it. What about you?
I didn't sleep with it and I didn't carry it around. Obviously, I showed it to my family, and those are my closest people and the ones that have always supported me and probably part of the reason why I'm here and doing what I do. So I shared that moment with them on the pitch after lifting the trophy. Had my medal around my family. It is currently framed alongside the picture of us lifting the trophy, because that is something I can take with me wherever I go in many, many years. And that's something I'm going to cherish forever. But I'm not really someone to wear it around my neck and present it to a lot of people. For me, it was important to share that moment with my family, but I don't talk about successes. I don't kind of shout him out. I speak through actions more than not. I don't want to say showing off because everyone's different.
You do talking on the pitch.
That's what I try to do. Yeah.
Sophie, then home games at the King Power Stadium this season. Obviously, you'll play some of your games at the Pirelli as well in Burton. What's that like? Is a feeling? Obviously, walking out for the first time in front of fans and playing in front of them against Manchester United. What was that feeling like?
I think first of all, for us to even be allowed to play at King Power is a massive gesture of the club and a massive statement within women's football. I think we might be a new club within the WSL, but I think we're actually leading the way with those moves. The first time we walked out against United was amazing because we could hear literally every single fan, and I think that's the first time in a long time that I had goosebumps. I don't really get nervous before games, but I did kind of give me, wouldn't say I was nervous, but it kind of gave me like the buzz. And because we hadn't had fans the previous year, I think that was a very special moment. And I think people don't even appreciate or don't even know how much we appreciate the fans, having them back, or in general, the supporters that come to the home games or away games. So that doesn't go unnoticed, and it definitely was a special moment.
Yeah. Obviously, I've travelled home and away to watch you guys this season. Wasn't at the last game, but I kept an eye on it, a very close eye, watching both games. I mean, next game is obviously Chelsea. What's life like in the WSL, Sophie, as a WSL player now? Obviously, you've got experience in it with Reading. What sort of things can you adapt to and help the team with this season for people who haven't played in this division before?
I think we need to realise that the WSL is brutal, is ruthless. You don't ever get handed any gifts. You have to work for every single, not even point, every single goal. I think we're still in the learning process of it. We're still growing into the league, but I think we need to learn quickly because we're 4 games in and we haven't performed the way we wanted to yet. We're new to the league, fair enough. We're giving ourselves time, but the one thing I can say is this league is ruthless and we need to get used to it quickly.
Yeah. Last game then, we played Spurs women at home. We lost 2-0. Leicester City girl, Rachel Williams, scored against her hometown club. You guys had some chances. Obviously, Ashley Plumpser had some chances from set pieces. Kirsty Lavelle come out with some cracking saves to keep the team in the game at some very good times in the game. What was it like, Sophie, that day watching the girls? What would you have said to them after the game?
I think we put in a decent fight in the second half. Unfortunately, game is 90 minutes, not 45. I think, as you mentioned, Kurt really kept us in the game. Based on that, we had a spell where we could have potentially scored and turned the game around before we conceded the second goal. I think first half we were too passive. We were letting them come at us instead of kind of being aggressive front foot, stopping their attacks. But we learned from it. We adjusted at half time and we came out stronger. And we started to show what we were about. I think we've still got a long way to go, but that was the first step in showing who we are and where we want to go, where we want to be. But don't get me wrong, Spurs was a good side. They've recruited really well this summer and they've really gelled. They won every game so far. But we need to now put performances in and start picking up points. But I think we try and take the positives out of all the games because there's no point in dwelling on it. We need to learn from our mistakes, but it doesn't help if you think about the negatives. You need to learn from it. You need to grow from it. You need to make sure you don't make them mistakes again, and take the positives from even just the second 45 minutes. Just so we can now go into Chelsea with confidence because we've learned from our mistakes. We've started to show what we're about, and we're going to put the work in on the pitch this week and then go down to Chelsea and fight for points. Yeah.
Other results in the WSL, Chelsea beat Brighton 3-1. Aston Villa got a battering against Arsenal 4-0. Manchester City lost again. They seem to be very worrying this season. I mean, Reading as well lost 3-0 against Everton. They've obviously got 0 points so far. Birmingham, on the other hand, as well, another defeat against Manchester United. Next game then, Sophie, is Chelsea women away. How do you get ready for these sorts of games? And it's exciting, isn't it, to play these sorts of teams this season and get the experiences out of these games and hopefully the points to come with it.
Yeah, those are the games you look forward to against the big opponents, world-class players. That's what you play football for. For us, as I said earlier, every game's a big game. Every game's important for us. I think for any team, every game's important, but for us, every game's a big game at the moment. Obviously, Chelsea's up there, top team, a top side. We've analysed the previous games of ourselves, of Chelsea. We're now going to put the work in this week on the pitch, and that's all we can do. We need to go in with the right mindset, the game plan that we'll put together, implement it, and as I said earlier, fight for points. That's the only way to go into that game. We haven't picked up any points yet, so now we need to literally fight for every point.
Yeah, it's obviously going to be difficult. Obviously, Frank Kirby, Sam Kerr, they're a very attacking side, aren't they, Chelsea? Very skillful side, very technical. I mean, it's going to be a difficult game, but I think you girls will relish it on the pitch and fight fire with fire. I mean, we've got some quality, and I know they have as well.
Yeah, as I said, Chelsea's a top side, but in the end, it's 11 players against 11 players. You need to win your individual battles, and that's the only way we are going to pick up points if everyone wins their individual battles. We might need some luck on our side on Sunday, but the first thing we have to make sure is that we battle and we take on the challenge and we don't shy away from it, and we go in with confidence. Because otherwise, you might as well not turn up if you don't go in with confidence.
No, you need to be confident, don't you? You don't want to let your heads drop this season, because if you do, then things could get worse than what they are at the minute. I know we're 4 games in, but the girls are just going to remain confident, aren't they, and switched on and build from their mistakes that keep happening. Obviously, there's some difficult games coming up. Manchester City again. Obviously, we lost 6-0 to them in the FA Cup. I mean, you learn from these games, don't you, Sophie, going forward in the season? And obviously you pick the experiences up and take them into other games, the positives that you can from these defeats.
Yeah, you do. I don't think we're looking towards Man City at all at the moment. I mean, we're looking at Chelsea. And after that, we've got a spell where we don't have games and we can kind of regroup, refocus. Then the next thing is Everton, obviously, we got in the Cup. But we go from game to game. There's no point in that us now looking towards Man City because we've got Chelsea at the weekend. And I think that's how we have to approach the league. Take each game as it comes and prepare for that 100% and go into the battle. I know I've said it many times, but I think that's the only way you can survive in this league. You need a fight.
Yeah. Sophie, some fans have been putting in the comments, what advice would you give Yannick Vestergaard as a defender, as a centre-back?
Actually, do you know a fun fact? He used to play for Hoffenheim as well.
Did he?
Yeah, I used to go to Hoffenheim, to the arena, the stadium there, to watch the men play, and Yannick used to play there. Just a little fun fact, because I was buzzing when he signed.
Do you know him personally, yeah?
No, I don't know him personally.
Oh.
No.
I don't want to get no bother.
No, I don't know him personally. We, as a women's side, obviously cheer the men on, and then you kind of know who played for your old club and whatnot. But what advice would I give him? In what sense?
I don't know. People seem to think he's a human lamppost, can't move. He's good from set pieces.
I'm pretty sure he can move, otherwise he wouldn't be at this level.
Well, that's their opinion. But that's all good. I'm sure he can learn your pace running down the wings and stuff like that. If he's watching you this season, he can learn quite a lot from you and add to his own game. Next game's in the WSL then, Sophie. Manchester United, I've got Manchester City. Brighton, I've got Tottenham. Reading, I've got Aston Villa. Arsenal versus Everton, and West Ham versus Birmingham.
Good games coming up.
And then we've obviously got Chelsea, ordering him up and tell him how to defend.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm comment on that.
Sophie, let's clear this one up. You're not related to Steve Howard, are you? I don't know if you know who he is.
No, I'm not related to him. No.
That's fine. Right, Sophie, it's been a real pleasure having you on and chatting to you.
You're welcome.
Hopefully we'll catch up at the King Power after the Chelsea game.
We're not playing at King Power. We're
Oh,
playing
you're
away.
not? Oh, you're away. Is it Manchester City after the Chelsea game? Yeah.
Yeah, City were
Or was
playing
it Everton?
I think we're playing Everton away. I'm not 100% sure, but we're playing City at home.
Oh, City at home. Okay. That'll be a good game.
Don't be at the Chelsea game. You won't see me there.
No, not the Chelsea game, the Man City game, sorry. Thanks for coming on, Sophie.
No problem. You take care.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care.
Right. You too. Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye. That was Sophie, Leicester City defender for the women. Great chat. Guys, if you enjoyed the show, smash a like, share, subscribe to Leicester Fan TV. A great insight into Leicester City women from Sophie, and getting to know her as a player and talk all things Leicester City women. Right then, guys, follow us at Leicester Fan TV on Instagram, Twitter, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Let's have a look what's coming up. So we've got the Fan Zone show next Monday. We've got the WSL show next week. We've got the Away Fan Zone show, which is tomorrow. We'll be reviewing Leicester's first 7 games in the Premier League. I'll be getting the boys on to chat about that. Premier League prediction show next Thursday. Reed will be back to talk all things Leicester on Friday. The watch along will be moved to Sunday as Leicester City women travel to Chelsea, and the aftermath show at 9:30 in the morning before that. Thank you to these guys: ADT, Hollogram, Tiger, Pizzeria, Pukka Pies, Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Foxy's Arms, Newby Co, and Hope Against Cancer. Right then, guys, this is Jack from Leicester Fan TV saying bye-bye for now, and I'll catch you tomorrow at 7:30 for the next show. Bye-bye for now.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newby Co estate agents. Make sure to follow us on all of our social channels at Leicester Fan TV. Visit our website, leicesterfantv.com.